everybody. Welcome once again to the Jim and Peter Show. I'm
the Jimmy part, right?
Yeah, you are.
I knew that.
Now we're going to get really crazy because I want to talk about, every once in a while we read a letter. I'm starting to get more and more of these. And
I saw the one that you...
Yeah. Let me just start this out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because there's things we can talk about and things we can't talk about or we choose not to talk about. We're going to touch on a few of the things we normally don't talk about, but we're going to talk about it.
I'm with you.
Can you dig it? Okay, because she asked me a question about how do I get divorced, and we don't do that. We don't give advice on how to get divorced. We're trying to help you get through your divorce, through helping you survive the ups and downs, the emotional drawbacks of going through all this crap and your kids and all this kind of stuff. So then I started to tell her this, and I said, all right, you know what? Fair enough, because you keep reaching out to me. I said, give me a little rundown about what's going on with you. Well, boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be more of a lesson, and it's not so much about this girl that I'm going to talk about. Her name is Tammy. She's from South Carolina. It's more about the why and the how that got her to be in the position that she is in, which is the gift that keeps on giving, unfortunately. I see a pattern here now due to prior damage, which we're going to talk about.
There's a lot of prior damage.
Yeah, which I know. The only reason I'm doing this is because I know, just like we know about like our situations, she's not alone. This stuff goes on a lot. And the damage that you're doing and then bringing new people into the world and children, and it just because and it's a mess. It's a freaking mess. And this letter is one stop short of a disaster.
I've never seen anything like that one. I mean, and I feel terrible for this lady. And,
well,
I already cried with Independence Day.
Enough of that.
Yeah.
Because it ain't pretty, a sight. She at least opened up to me and is willing to talk about it because she is looking for help. She has been getting help. She keeps trying to get help. But even with the help, when you're stuck in this type of upbringing and you were gone through this, you just can't ask anybody to just like, oh, I don't see how you just can't get over it. Because you can't. There's damage here. And the only thing you can keep doing is keep getting through it, not over it. You're never going to let this stuff go.
When we use the term of damage, well, gosh, our lives have been destroyed and the whole thing. This is times 100.
This is heavy.
I got maybe 2 paragraphs and I started crying. I'm crying all day.
So I asked her. I said, give me a short letter. I said, how old are you? Where do you live? How many kids do you have? How many marriages? Because her name was like, Tammy, blah, 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 blah. There was like 8 last names on there. I go, if you've been married 5 or I'm already prejudging her, you know what I mean? And I'm going, if you've been married 5 or 6 times and you got 18 kids, I don't want to hear about it because, she
has 18 kids?
No, that's the thing. She doesn't. But then she told me that it's her mother's. I don't know why she's carrying her mother's 18 different names. This problem goes back beyond this grown woman. This problem goes back on her upbringing as a child and the screwed up parents she had. This is what it really boils down to. And so here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah,
okay.
This is a hard one.
Well, I know. I'm going to start and try to keep up with me, people, because it's all over the map. And maybe someday we'll even talk to her on the phone because this is a train wreck.
I feel terrible for this woman.
It's a train wreck, but I give her credit for sticking. You can't, you just, again, I'm dying here. When disorders, people have problems. They go into I'm like you.
Like me? Why are you attacking me now?
I know. Depression. That's on another show. But depression is a killer. Depression.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And loneliness.
But the thing is, people do take their own lives.
Absolutely.
And Robin Williams, Keith Emerson, just recently shot.
I know. I saw that.
Obviously, there's a problem that beyond we could ever understand.
Well, Robin was getting Parkinson's.
Okay,
and so,
still, it takes a lot of balls to kill yourself.
That's
because everybody says if they could have taken it back, they probably would have. You just get into that mental state of mind that you have no control over. I'm truly a believer now after I've just lost another recent friend to the same thing.
Look at how many of these we've seen.
Okay, but I'm talking... I know
nothing like this.
I know guys, and more in men than women, and I don't want to get off this track, but again, we'll talk about it in another time. let's get back to this. But it's all the above. This is what gets you into this state that how the hell do you survive living through this crap every day? So, as I begin, stick with me, people. I was molested from age 3 until 14 by 2 stepfathers, 2 cousins, and a female on my bus. I then went into a foster care at 3 different places, and then I was sent home with a second stepfather because the social worker said that my mom didn't want to press charges and told my mom that I didn't want to either. I was raped 2 times by cousins, husbands, and a stranger. I got pregnant at 19 with my first child and raised myself in the church. I married her father when she was 2. I was pregnant at 19 with my first child and raising myself in the church. I married her. Okay, so she married the guy who she had the baby with by the time the child was 2. By the time we got married for 2 years, he changed into a controlling person who thought my only friend... Wait a minute. By the time we got married for 2 years, he changed into a controlling person who thought my only friend left. I don't understand her letter. Preacher's wife was sleeping together. Oh, her only friend was a preacher's wife, and the husband was sleeping with her. I tried to kill myself from age 18 to 27 4 times. Oh. Well, again, trying and doing is 2 different things, but I get it. And she's reaching out for attention. Because then I left and went into a woman's shelter to get help, and he took my children. I remarried 3 years later to a man in AA, and after his children I helped to raise, grew up, and moved away. He started drinking again. So she married recently. She's married now to a guy who his kids are grown up. Now he's drinking again. He was AA. We've been to couples counseling for 10 years, and again for a year and a half, and he said he's not going to stop drinking. I have tried to get a lawyer for almost 2 years, and no one will help me. I have recorded his rantings for 2 years, and that hasn't helped. I have called the governor in August of last year, and he never called me back. Well, what's the governor going to do?
Well, this is you can't even break that much in your heart.
There's more. I know.
Geez.
I have been separated. I'm in a separate room for almost 2 years. He has physically, emotionally, and mentally abusive the whole time. I cannot get anyone to help because I am on disability and make less than $600 a month. I am so stuck with the situation with my I'm also stuck with a situation with my 25-year-old daughter and my 2.5-month-old grandson. We have to lock ourselves in other rooms to get away from him, and I am always scared of his behavior. Okay, now she's going to tell me I have...
Oh, my goodness.
I know. Wait. Oh, wait. It gets better.
I don't know if it's better.
Are you with me? I have Disacati disorder?
Disacati, yeah.
Disacati dissociative disorder, PTSD, borderline personality, anxiety disorder, arachnophobia, a split personality disorder, but I have always been a great mom, caretaker, grandma, friend, all 5 of us.
God, I'm sorry.
I know.
I don't mean to laugh.
Oh, no, it's not funny, but it's okay.
I feel terrible for this lady.
I go to therapy.
You go through all that.
Yeah.
And you say, I'm a great mom.
And well, she's trying.
I bet she is. I bet.
And I go to therapy every week, okay? So she's trying. But who knows what therapy and how good the therapy. I don't deserve this treatment, and I have people who can attest to this. Again, a lot of good it does. But I am smarter than most people, and I know how to take care of everyone and everything. I work 24/7, and it has helped. I just want to be happy, treated with respect, and that's it. I'm going to take care of my baby right now. I can write later. So she wrote me this long letter. Tammy.
I have to say, this is the most scary, sad letter we've ever
This
gotten.
is 40,000 parts of crazy all in one. This is a whole movie. What do you do?
Well,
where do you start?
It's easy to kind of look at it and think crazy, right?
But true.
But what if it is? Yeah.
No.
What if she's gone through all these things?
Well, she has. I'm pretty sure she's real.
I think it probably
You don't
is
just
too.
write this stuff.
Yeah.
But the problem is, where do you start? The biggest thing she wants now is how she originally wrote me was she wants to get out of this marriage. She's got no money to get divorced, and she's asking me how to get divorced. I don't know. You need family to lean on or friends to lean on. And if you don't have both, what do you do? If you don't have one or the other. Okay, so I was thinking about this because I didn't tell you about this letter until today.
Yeah, I didn't.
And I'm thinking, how to do something worth of helping her. And, there's lots of self-help. Obviously, if you're going to counseling, I mean, you got to start there.
But look at all the effort she made in this whole time. I mean, I can't say exactly what that area really is, but it sounds like it's a man's kind of area. You know what I mean? Where they control the whole thing. It seems to me, just based on what we're looking at.
Nothing personal, but again, we don't know how sane or how crazy she is, and not blaming because the past. That's and right. This is where I'm going for in this lesson. Okay, I'm going to try to make a point here eventually. The past. Look what shitty parenting did to this human being, which then led to another human being growing up and raising and trying to raise and getting into relationships with other shitty human beings. Absolutely. Again, right. It's just going on and on and on. And this is our society, people. And this is why we sit here and do this show.
No, you're absolutely right. And which makes me so angry when you hear things like beside, well, I'm not really happy and right now I want to go to another person or whatever. And and you're asked, well, what about the kids? Well, yeah, and what do you get? You get, oh, they'll be fine. You're insane if you think that they're
apparently not.
Yeah.
I mean, and I don't know how her 25-year-old daughter has gotten through all this. We didn't get into that. That's probably a phone call interview if we choose to talk about this in the future, because this is one of the most heaviest letters I've gotten.
Oh, no question about it.
Ours is usually, this bitch won't do that. I hate my ex, or my husband sucks, and this and that.
No, she's gone. If this is even 50% accurate, she has gone through more than anyone should have to go through.
Because we talked, I went back and forth with her via emails for several hours yesterday. This has been a 2-day ongoing thing because, I try to answer some of these letters. I mean, some I can't get all to, but this one, I saw her reaching out. And she's saying, I'm stuck. She has no money. She needs to get out. But how do you get out when you have no money to support yourself and you can't leave? And, and you got a 25-year-old, looks like the 25-year-old daughter is depending on them too somehow, with a 2.5-year-old baby as well. So here's a whole group of not being able to survive people that are codependent and huddling together in the most the environment is just the most devastating type environment, not a normal type situation, whatever normal is.
That would be obvious. Yeah. That's,
it's unhealthy.
But it's just levels, because once you have your children as a child and your parents are your protection, they're the ones that you go to all the time. Jake, last night, to be honest with you, Jake wanted to make some deviled eggs for us. I don't know. He's really big on eggs right now, gotta tell you. And I said, okay. He
wanted to pay you back at the car the following morning.
I guess so.
Hey, Dad, check this out.
Yeah.
Deviled eggs.
But he'd made them before and they were good and everything was cool. And he had a problem.
Peanut butter and cereal.
Well, he didn't. He was trying to make them again, and he made a mistake. And he got very furious. He got very angry because he has to do everything perfect. And I'm considering going to another therapy situation because he doesn't have to need to think that he has to be perfect at every single thing. That's one of the reasons you and I, when we were talking before we were on air, I told you
to save it.
Yeah, what's that?
I told you to save it. Right when you're getting ready to go, I go, again.
Well, it's just, it just breaks my heart, too, to have him think these things and I don't know if it's just a normal situation. I've never had a son before. This is the only son I've ever had. So maybe it's something that's common. But to me, all this stuff goes back to the fact that when you're 2 years old and all of a sudden mom's one way and dad's the other way, and what do we do?
I think it's current situation, too. This is my point.
Exactly.
Look at how screwed up you are, and I mean that in not a condescending way.
Damn.
I mean, yeah. I mean, your situation.
Yeah.
Let's face it.
Yeah.
Your situation's way more screwed up than mine right now. I'm kind of starting to level out a little so far. Yours is getting probably worse than before. Correct?
Well,
for your children.
we don't need to go into that area.
You
but
know
yeah,
what I mean?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. But I mean, because the thing is,
Well, I certainly didn't.
but you're
want to
trying.
say.
But look, dude, if we weren't talking about this right here, you'd be calling me up, or you'd be sitting there telling me the same damn shit, and I'd be
Yeah.
telling you the same stuff.
Yep.
So what's the difference? This is why we're doing this.
I know.
You know, you're no different than anybody else, nor am I. But I'm kind of skating right now. Cross my fingers. But you got stuff going on. But the point being is, like, look at how devastating this is for you, and you're not even a fraction of this
Well,
woman
that's what
right
I meant
here.
by the levels.
Yes.
You know, I'm on the first step. This poor lady is probably on number 30.
Who knows? But you still think that your level is the worst one of them all,
Right.
and that's what everybody
And it is.
thinks.
It's-
And yeah, because
and-
it's only about you.
Yeah, but when you see something like this, though, let's say it steps, and we're on number 2, and she's on number 30. That's where you fall. You know, it's.
I mean, most people would have ended it at this point.
And I'm not trying to say anything about this other than if this is accurate, completely accurate, I don't have an answer for that. to be
There's
honest.
no answer.
You know, and as far as wanting to get divorced, get your daughter, get your
Yeah.
grandkid, and just get in the car and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, there's
You
got to
know,
be some way.
That would be my
There's
suggestion.
got to be
because-
one step. Well, that's the problem when you're codependent on somebody, because he probably provides.
That's
and
it.
that's the thing. I've known, how many people have we known?
How
I've
will
known
I be
women.
able to feed him? How
Yeah,
will I be able
can't
to?
leave. He
but
pays
you'll
this.
find
He
that
pays
you
that.
can
Yeah, you
do
find.
it.
That's what I'm saying. If she's going to counseling, somebody's got to be able to help her. The governor cannot help you. Will not help you. The governor's too busy being a governor. He's not a
Well,
counselor.
plus, if you read the part, it's kind of hard to swallow, you know, a little bit on the beginning, you know. But you're right.
I don't look, man. There's a lot of crazy shit that goes out there. You know what? We don't hear this every day, thank God.
Thank God.
But I guarantee you, it goes on a lot.
Well,
There's some messed up
for
people
what
in
it's
this
worth,
world.
Tammy, we feel terrible what you've gone through, and as we've said, always said about what we do. You know, we're not doctors, we're not therapists. We're just two guys who went through the same kind of situation and tried to figure out how we could get through it, and we've used it with laughs
Yeah, there's
and
enough,
things like that.
Enough
But
experience.
something like this is way
beyond.
that.
And again, as I said, I wasn't trying to resolve anything here.
No, I know.
was using it as a lesson, because no matter how screwed up your life is, just listen to this show again, this one. And I mean, we're smelling pretty.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I wouldn't mind some people seeing something like this.
Well, yeah.
Because you're exactly right.
You know, and
because I'm just not happy. I want to go this way.
yeah.
You know, but they'll be fine. They'll be
There's-
fine. I will always hear that. I will always hear that sentence told to me.
And I've heard it a lot.
You know, it's. Well, I'm sorry. It's just like
I
you
know
know,
it's okay, because
if you want, if you hate me,
it obviously,
if you hate me and I'm not the person you want, or I talk too much, or I'm drinking too much, or whatever, okay. But we've got to think about the kids when they're that young. You know what I mean? It's
well, even that. Okay, again,
because you're right. What you're coming through is this could become worse and worse.
what do you mean?
and worse
It's already,
and
you
worse.
already see generations.
Well, we don't
now.
really know
There's-
about her history above.
I
this.
asked her to tell me her history. She's telling me her history. I'm going to have to
Well, I
take
meant
it as
before.
being true.
Yeah.
There's 3 generations right now
Yeah.
being brought up. The 2.5-year-old, well, we don't know where that's going to go. But somebody, I mean, again, it started from the beginning of humongously awful parenting that they should have been shot. I don't care if they're your parents. They don't deserve to be. Because now look what they did to you. Look what you're doing. And again, she didn't tell me much about how her daughter's doing, but I'm assuming if her daughter's 25 and has a kid, that there's something, you know, that didn't work too right there either. But
Yeah.
in this day and age, I mean, it's nothing for
Well,
parents.
she was in
people moving
foster
with their
care
parents.
at 3 different places.
Yeah, again, and that's what I'm saying. And all these people, because a lot of foster care people, there's a lot of crappy ones. They're collecting a check.
There's a lot of evil out there.
There's a lot of evil. That's what I'm saying.
As far as getting a divorce, I don't know exactly where the area is or if there are good attorneys around there. You don't have the money, obviously.
Doesn't sound like she can afford that.
But
yeah.
can't you just get... I know a lot of people that have just jumped into the car because they felt that their children were in danger or they were in danger, and they get up and they go.
You pack your shit
and
and
you
get.
go. Yeah.
You know, you
And
got to
if-
rhyme.
And yeah.
Okay, come on.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you're going to say go, it doesn't rhyme.
You want to get the General Lee? Is what you got?
Just pack your shit and get.
Yeah.
It's the South, dude.
Well,
You know what? There's support groups and homes
There
and
does
battered
have to be some in
everywhere
there,
in the
yeah,
United States.
yeah.
There's got to be. It's called a computer. That's how she found us. And she needs to, Tammy, you need to keep on pushing if it's that important to you. But I mean, again, some people, they're codependent, even though she may bitch
That's-
about it.
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you loved this man at one point, but if it's not working and you're in fear for your life as you say you are, it's time to go.
Exactly.
I don't care where. Even if you're under a bridge, if you love your daughter and your granddaughter, you cannot. I mean, you cannot. You
Well-
just go and don't look back, ever.
I learned the same thing in a different way.
Ever.
You can go and get an attorney. You can spend a bunch of money. You can do all these things, or you can at some point say, "I'm going to get out of bed, and I'm going to be strong, and I'm going to take care of what I need to take care of, me, my children, and doesn't matter what happens. If I want to get beaten up, if I want anything else, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get the hell out of there."
A lot of people do not realize that until they have to go through all the agonizing crap, and some will never survive it.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. But how do you know that fire's hot until
Well,
you
I'm sure
touch
she's
it?
terrified,
And some
but-
people touch that fire and they keep going back like an addiction. I mean, we just it was just a moment. He just wasn't in a good mood, or she wasn't in a good mood. I mean, there's plenty of shit women out there too. We beat up on the guys, but there's both, and
Yeah.
But that's it. You just, until you have somebody slapping you in the head and saying, "Hey, enough," or you have it in your own head enough, or you get some support help or something, you put up with it. You deal with it because that's what you know. You don't want to be as uncomfortable as you are. You don't want to rock the boat, because where are you going to go? How are you going to do it? I get it.
When you have something that's so intense like this, right? There's two teams. There's the one that will make fun of her, will like, "Oh, well, you're a dumbass. You should have taken care of yourself after the second time, the third time, the fourth time." Logical, yes.
Yeah.
Then there's the other side that goes, sometimes these type of people can't take care of themselves. They can't, because when you're young and you're getting beaten down, you're done.
Oh, yeah, it takes an extremely strong human being to.
Yeah, it does, and there's so many movies of that and things like that. So for Tammy, I believe that she's gone through all of this, and to be honest with you, it could break my heart, But as far as getting an attorney, if you only have $600, that's going to be a hard
She
road
gets
to
that
go.
A month. Yeah,
I'm
that's
sorry.
to live on. Not even $600 to
Right.
put towards an attorney. There's tons of free help out there.
There's got to be.
There
and
has to be.
There's got to be like, well, down there, I don't know if they have.
No, I know where she lives, and believe me, I've been there.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All I want to say is the Whipping Post. You probably Allman Brothers.
Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a slide right now, but I
Okay.
know what
I'm
you're
just
talking
saying,
about.
but it's a city. It's
Yeah.
it's a pretty good sized city where she comes from.
Well, and there's got to be someone there to help them. There really does. I mean, and if it's that bad and she's gone through all this, how old is she now?
She's
we
born
know?
in 70.
She was born in 70. Oh, yeah. Okay.
She's
Wow.
our age.
Yeah.
She's our age.
Yeah.
24.
Time is clicking.
Okay.
You certainly deserve the ability to have at least the rest of your life in a safe place where you have your own life. And the only way you're going to do that at that point is by herself, I would think.
Tammy, for what it's worth, and for all of you listening out there, I hope that even though we didn't resolve anything, but we talked about things that need to be talked about because it goes on. I hope that we're touching on somebody that can relate, and some way, shape, or form. It's just opening your mind. That's all we did on this show, especially since Jim got to see Bruce Springsteen.
Jeez.
Because
Now
thank God he didn't break out into Thunder Road.
Now poor Tammy's going to hear Springsteen and go,
Born to
"Oh,
run. Born to run. Run, Tammy, run. All right, look.
All right, now that once again,
What?
I feel terrible.
No.
Because that's how we've always used laughter to get us through these kind of.
what do you think? Yeah, absolutely. You
but
included.
This is I know, but I want her to understand we're for her,
Absolutely.
and it is I will probably cry again. Damn, But
Let me give you an example.
You got to get strong. And you got to take care of yourself.
We start every show down in the dumps.
We do.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, the sky opens up.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. You need your sky to open up. Tammy, maybe we'll get you on a phone call
Love to. That'd be
one
great.
of these times and really hear it from you.
And we do get therapists that come and on our show every once in a while. She could help talk to her a little bit and help her.
Well, yeah, but we
God
will.
bless
Maybe
Tammy.
we'll get her on. Yeah, exactly. Tammy, we'll talk again, I'm sure, because she's a fan of the show. Anything you have to say before we leave?
Nah, not really. no, not really.
Okay.
I think we kind of went off on course there.
Well, so we stuck to the norm. So, okay. That's it. I want to thank everybody for listening. Tune in, Facebooks, YouTubes, LinkedIn's, you name it, iTunes. We got something for everybody, almost. You're listening to the greatest divorce show guys ever. It's official.
God bless Tammy. Things will get better,
Yeah.
I promise you.
Thanks, everybody. I'm Peter.
I'm Jim.
We'll talk to you next time.
Okay, take care.